Good morning, boys and girls. It's about 5 a.m. and I have to try to get a little bit of sleep. I am exhausted. I am so exhausted. I have dishes in my sink. I don't have the energy to wash one dish. I have crap on this bed. I have no energy to move it. The blessing was I was in that shower yesterday, even though I had a lot to do. So now it is 5 a.m. I woke up about an hour ago. But I need a little bit more rest. Even if I don't sleep, I need rest because I have a long drive today. And I just want to make sure that when I leave, I just filled up this cup. I just filled it with ice, and hopefully I have enough in here to walk right out the front door. But if I don't, I still have the ice. I don't have to take time to. So I took care of that, and I did wash up twice before. The day was over yesterday, but I did wake up a little while ago. So I just want to take a shower, but you know what, boys and girls? Sometimes I sit down and I have to just go back into why I'm so thankful for myself. I know that I will never speak for the future because I just don't know what's ahead of me. I just know my current, and I am thankful for my strength. I am thankful for my strength because I kid you not, there are some things emotionally that I just can't believe I made it through. Um, I was in here. I went to bed last night, and someone knocked on my door, and that is very, very odd for me to have someone knocking at my door. Not last night, but the night before, a neighbor knocked on my door, but that's a neighbor. But when I went to the door, it was someone that thought they were gonna come in, and I'm tired of just being available. So when I opened the door, the person stepped forward. I said, "No, stop." And I said, "Mm-mm. I just thought I can't. I don't want to hear it." I said, "That's none of my business." I said I was sleeping. So then the person stepped in. I said, "I have company. You need to leave." And I pointed to my bedroom. I said, "I have company. Leave." And he stepped out. He said, "No, you don't. No, you don't. You know you don't have no company." Yes, I do. You better leave. I didn't want any police at my door. I didn't want any of that. But guess what? You're not getting in. That's the bottom line. The blessing for me was I did not care. I just didn't care. But I kid you not, from the time that happened, all the way to where I was in here doing all these papers and everything, it didn't even bother me. But I am proud of my strength. I am not a perfect person. I don't want to do the perfect anything. I just want to focus on taking care of what I need to take care of and realize that I don't have to be upset making boundaries. And if I make boundaries for myself, I have to hold myself accountable to the boundaries I made for myself. And I'm just thankful because I am not stressed. The only thing I know is that I just hope everything that goes forward the way it is because there's going to be a few sad individuals when there's going to be a few sad, and I'm not even in the mode of being angry anymore. I'm truly blessed, truly blessed. I hear people say they need to be with someone. I hear people say, you know, they want to be with. I want all of that, but I don't want it nowhere as much as I want it for myself, with myself. I kid you not. I wish like hell I could make this drive tomorrow by myself, but I can't. So I have to, you know, use my daughter. But if I could just take this ride by myself and do a small YouTube video, then turn off the video and then put my religious music on, I would be in heaven. But there are just some parkways I just can't drive. I can't drive. So I'm not even gonna attempt, and it's just so. I have to be mindful how I speak. I have to remind myself, and I have to remind myself where I can hear myself, because I don't want to forget what I heard. I want to hold on to it. So I have to lay here, and believe it or not, as I started this video and now I am feeling like I can take my shower. Like I really, I'm resting. I'm resting. Okay, that's what I'm actually feeling. I'm trying to. I am, boys and girls. Let me tell you something. You have to remember, you need thick skin. If you can't learn to repeat in your mind a few times a day when situations you can't control are against you, people, places, and things. I kid you not. I have to. It has to be some. And I could have really lost myself, But I said in my head, people, places, and things. Sometimes a person can be dressed up, in the finest or whatever, smelling all good, fresh. They didn't bathe up and everything. But guess what? You still don't know their story. They could have just came from sleeping in their car where they had to iron them clothes in the gas station bathroom with a little steamer. You don't know a person's story, but I kid you not. I realize that I come from a clean family, but that has nothing to do with what I realize today. I realize that part of the reason why I am mentally in a better state of mind is because of how I love the roof over my head. And I kid you not, you may have to hit rock bottom to understand where I'm coming from. But if you ever had a safe space over your head that was never a safe space over your head, and then finally you arrive to where safety is, you will wash a dish every single day with love and honor. You would love to wash dishes. You would love to wash the toilet. That's what people say, how do you like to clean? I love it because it reminds me of love. That is it. Uncontrollable love is when you secure the roof over your head. That's it. When I sit down and think of some of the beautiful things that I have, and then I think about people that's out there working 9 to 5, 40 hours a week, 80, whatever the hell it is, because I'm not a math magician. Don't try to don't play with me. Just don't play with me. People are working, getting out of their beds, going to these places, going in the cold, going in the rain, going in snow, having to pay for their car, having to pay for their children's babysitter, and they can't even afford some of the things that I can afford. Yet they have money in their bank account and I don't. And the bottom line is we are all people. We all deserve a roof over our head. I don't know how, but I'm thankful that although I try the best I can and I haven't reached there yet, I feel as if the people that are working, that are leaving their house, going to work, should have a little bit more qualification for EBT than people that are just standing on the corner. And I feel so bad saying what I say, looking how I look. However you take that, thank you. Because I found myself speaking to someone in a higher place and I was feeling a certain type of way. And I said, look at me. And he was like, it is, and I'm like, I had a very, very nice, safe conversation with someone who was wearing a uniform that could have stripped me of what I hold so dear. But I really appreciate. I am really grateful. And I kid you not, I am feeling, I've been feeling, y'all have heard me say it. something is going to, I'm going somewhere. I feel these layers of protection around me. I feel like I am being cushioned from a fall. I feel so good while my body is so exhausted. If I had to pee right now, I would 9 times out of 10 make a trail on my way to the bathroom. And the beautiful thing is, I took my bladder pill before I went to bed to help me with my bladder through the night. But I can feel that I have to go to the bathroom. But if I didn't take the pill, I would have already been at that push. But I'm not. But I'm sitting here and I'm like, I looked at my dishes and I couldn't wash them. I said, you know what? I can't wash them because my shoulders hurt. This shoulder right here is so tired. It held a lot. And I understand the feeling of release so much more now than I did before. And I kid you not, I don't want to always have what I have right now. I truly hope to have more. And when I say more, I mean it more to the point where I can help the quality of life of someone that may not have more. Because I feel it. I don't know. I have a feeling sometimes, I have a feeling sometimes that I'm supposed to throw away all my crafting supplies and just be done with it. That's exactly how I feel almost every day. And yesterday I woke up with the greeting card right in my mind. I had no time to make the greeting card. When I laid down, if I was of a different mind state, I would have been crying before I lay down. But there was no reason to cry because I knew it was either do it or get off the pot. And that's it. There was no in between. I didn't want to complain and I didn't want to make an excuse. I want it. I have to get it. That's it. There's no in between. Unfortunately, yesterday I was outside and I was in a car about maybe 40, 45 minutes, and unbelievably, it was 72 degrees yesterday. So I'm sitting in the car and I don't know where my shirt is, but anyway, um, I was soaking wet. It was that hot, and I don't have money to afford gas back and forth. And being at that destination, I knew that there was another destination that I truly needed to make sure I protected my fall from. But leaving that destination yesterday, I had to go to the gas station. So I was a little upset about that, but it worked out. I had just found that $15 in a drawer, so that's what I put in the gas tank. But now I have to go today further. So I'm definitely like, okay, I used the $6 a couple of days ago for gas that's in my car, but even that can't stress me out. Now, just say I didn't have any gas. I could not get there in any other way. So that reminds me of the circle that starts here, and I have to do this, but I always make a way. And that's why I said when I get down and out in my spirits, and then I say, God, God, that's a lie. God won't give you any more than you can handle. I've always said it was a lie, but every time I say it's a lie, I'm proven to be the lie. So there are things that make me feel as if something can be bad, but then if you turn it around, you'll find something good. That's why I always try to tell my daughter, even if you hurt right now, work your hardest to figure out where the good is, because a lot of things bad happen for something good to happen. I was in here and I was crying and crying and crying and crying. I was overwhelmed. And I said, you know what? I don't care. And I said, I'm just going to walk away and sleep in my car. Just go a few towns and just sleep in my car and register as homeless so I can use the postal address, of something. And I said, that's how I feel. That's how I felt when I woke up this morning. I said, I just don't care. And when I felt like I didn't care, it's because on this bed I have a box, my bowl with the butter for the crackers, a plate right here where my pizza was, and I'm feeling a little uneasy. And this is really nothing to complain about. My floor is completely clean, and I'm actually going bonkers over a plate and a few little things that I actually, need, like the towel if my hand get wet or something. So I'm trying to fight the fact that I'm finding something to fight about because that's all I'm doing. And I'm not going to allow that to happen because there is nothing wrong with me giving my body what it needs in this rest. If I'm not going to do the right thing and rest when I have time to rest and I try to get it all done, then I have to do what my body is asking when it's forcing me to, and it's forcing me to. I don't even know if I lift this arm up yet, but this arm right here, from here all the way down to the tips of my hands, is absolutely done. So I'm just thankful I took that pill because I'm tired. But I kid you not, I don't care what it is you want. And look who's saying it. Little old me with nothing. I don't care what you want. Be sure to remind yourself that kindness has to be in everything you do. Everything you do. I am so thankful that yesterday my daughter got into a situation where someone violated her in a way that broke her trust. But the person that I would have reacted in a way that it would have ended in a different situation where I would have been thankful to be in a position to where I am thankful to be able to give my daughter the advice I gave her yesterday. Even though it happened, the person did rectify the situation. And now I gave her a greeting card and a bracelet, and I told her to write in the card to let her know that that is the past and today is the beginning. And I said, absolutely, when you hand her that envelope, that is exactly how it's going to be. I don't want to hear that she did this. She already put the band-aid on it and it's over. So it was smooth sailing after that. Thank you, mommy. Yeah, you have to. And I feel bad, sometimes telling her that because I know there are times that I have really flipped the scale. But the blessing is just recently I went through a few things and she doesn't know of some of the main things that tipped me over. She doesn't know the details of any of that. So this morning I saw myself in a position that's going to come down further, that I have no promise that it's going to come, but it's a further dream. And I saw a vision. Me and my daughter were sitting outside on some lawn chairs, and I just let her know. And she's like, "Mommy, was dealing with all." Yeah, I was. And my one thing about my daughter that she doesn't like is that she'll call me. She'll know I'm dealing with something, and I say, Charisma, I just want to deal with my own stuff on my own. I'm a big girl. I said, Mommy's a big girl, okay? Let me be the big girl. And she say, okay. So when I was speaking to a friend yesterday, she was like, I can't believe you were going through all of this. Why didn't you ask? That's why I walked away. I said I'd walk away because I don't need to take this roller coaster through my friends. I need to work this out on my own. The only thing I said I have to do now is um, I have to decide if I'm going to leave YouTube. And when I say leave YouTube, don't take off my videos, just stop recording. Maybe one, recording, but I don't want to be recording outside anymore. In my car is one thing because you can't see, especially now that I stopped showing the road. I prefer to show me. Usually, if I'm in the car, I'm showing the road, let y'all see the scenes in the neighborhood, but you can't do that. You can't do that. I'm gonna contact my the person in charge of my online store. Oh, this feels so good. And ask if I could take my. Do I have to have my address on on my invoices? I don't want my address on my invoices. Whatever I could do now to remove access to me on the internet. I have already on Facebook removed just about every video that I put up there. Um, I did a lot of restrictions on YouTube, and unfortunately, some people are unsavory when they have your address. I don't know what's going on, but I had no spammers calling my house for a few weeks now since I unplugged my phone for about 3 weeks, and now I have my first spam was the day before yesterday. So I said, between somebody on the internet having to do whatever they're doing, my data is out there now. So I said, hopefully it'll stop when I'm finished doing whatever project I'm doing now. I'm going to unplug my phone and just stay by myself for a while. This energy going back and forth is with different people is pulling me in, because today was the first day that I was able to cry because I was based on someone's sad situation. And I am so thankful that I'm willing to do everything I'm willing to do, but at this moment in life, I am tired. I'm tired in a way that I can't do much of anything. I can't do much of anything. I am looking forward to something. I didn't know what to do because of the feeling that I have with crafting and my craft supplies, that I just want to just get it all out. And I also have another feeling, and I'm having all of these visions and everything. And yesterday I said to ChatGPT everything I was feeling, and then I said, I just want to get rid of all of my, just everything. And it said, it went through its thing, and the bottom line is, it says, get rid of all the furniture, but keep the crafting supplies. And when I heard that, I really didn't need any more reading, because what I do know, that I feel, I need the crafting supplies. That's what is so funny. What I feel I'm going to get, even though I have no idea what I'm going to get, I need my crafting supplies. And when I say I need my crafting supplies, the overabundance of what I have, I actually need every last drop for whatever, because I can see about 5 different scenarios. I need every bit of everything that's in there. I don't know how, but I have to. If I don't, I already decided I don't need I don't need the bed. If I get that bad off and I have to, whatever to get what I have to get, I don't need my bed. I am in a situation now to where it was so funny. I got a text yesterday, a call yesterday I missed, and a text this morning about maybe 20 minutes ago. Wait. Oh, Lord have mercy. About 20 minutes ago, saying good morning. But the strange thing is, let me see. This phone is off. Okay, he didn't get the message yet. I was about to say, the strange thing is, help will come from him faster than anyone else. And I'm sitting here saying I need help, and I'm like, so I'm just gonna Oh, he did. He just saw it. It just said check. Not when I turned it on like a thing, but right after I turned it on, he just saw it. Okay, I'm going to 6 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock now. Wait a minute. Was my light on? Did I just turn my light on? I don't think so. I couldn't have been doing this video in the dark. Okay. It feels like it's brighter in here. Like I turned the light on like I was in the dark. Oh, well, maybe it's just glasses. No, it's not. But I'm so thankful that I even mentioned it. But uh, I don't want to turn the volume up on this phone. And my daughter keeps saying, "Mommy, you have to turn the volume up. Somebody may call you." I'm like, "Well, they'll call me back later." I can't deal with the ringing and all that other stuff. I can't do it. But yesterday I was doing some paperwork, and my daughter was in the living room, and I came in here, closed the door. Then she came right behind me, and she opened the door. She said, "Oh, did I?" And then she put her foot in the door, and I'm like, "Oh man." So then I said, "I'm so sorry, but I need to focus." And so the bottom line was she wasn't staying in the living room by herself. So she came in here and laid right here on this floor. I said, "Oh wow, talk about still needing your mommy." The girl is not sitting in the living room by herself. Absolutely not. Oh my gosh. Oh, absolutely not. She's not sitting out there. She said, "Mommy, you have spirits in here." And I'm like, "Leave my people alone. Leave." She said, "Mommy, you really." The TV flips on and off by itself. And she said, "Mommy, why does it do that?" Because whoever it is letting you know it's time for you to go home. I said, "Sweetie, look at the clock. These are not visiting hours. It's still early. No, honey, it's time for me to parlay. Leave. Go home." What? But someone picked her up, messaged her on her phone, and she said, "Mommy, so and so's downstairs." And I said, "Well, get that ride. Get that ride, baby. You need some of this before you walk out the door. Bye." It is a blessing to live alone. I kid you not. That's why I'm sitting here so sorry sometimes when I hear people say how lonely they are. But one of the beautiful things that I'm realizing and I'm so thankful for is being alone and not needing to be on devices. It is a breath of fresh air. I've been wanting to detach for so long, and I can legit lay right here. I could do a video, post a video, or I could not do a video and still carry on through my day. But I'm to the point now where I want to do a video. I want to see the comments, and stuff like that. I am so happy when I know that I can make a difference in someone's life. I'm really amazed at some of the things that you guys are telling me, because it was when I was speaking to someone, not today because I just got off the phone with Cora, but it was about 3 in the morning because she and I be grinding at night. Cora, but yesterday, right when I fell asleep, I was already asleep, and the phone rang. It was like, I just came home, and I'm like, and she was like, "How was your day?" I said, and at that time, I was so tired that my head was laying like right at the edge of the bed. I couldn't even move over. And I said, "Today was one of the hardest days of my life." And she was like asking me, and then I was talking, and I had to let her know, at this point, I really don't want to talk anymore, about it. I had just finished printing the last of like a stack of papers. And so I'm like, I don't want to, continue to go through it. But one of the things I was debating was if I was going to move forward with something. And although I did write a piece of paper and did make a phone call and speak on it, I don't believe that everybody needs to sit in the punishment corner. So some people don't need that. Just remove them from your life, and that's it. In kindness, no hate, no just remove them from your life, because a person that means well, no goodness, is going to bring you down. That's why I'm so thankful that at this point in my life, and it's 2026 of March, and I have had no male activity in 2026. I kid you not. I don't want any connection to a man when it comes to a physical anything. I am so excited for someone right now that does not want to speak to me. I am so excited because he has no idea how blessed he is. He has no idea how blessed he is. I cannot wait till he finds out. He thinks because, but I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. Sometimes you have to get somewhere before you revisit your steps that you had to take to get there. But you cannot move forward without saying to yourself, I am proud of myself. And if you can stand in the mirror and look at yourself and recognize who you are and take your joy, hold your trophy, toot your own horn, you are making it happen. You are making it happen. That's why when people are in depressed groups that I'm in, and I'm kind of leery, but I want to remove myself from them. I truly am. I'm telling you the truth. I feel as if I'm going to have to remove myself from them because how can you keep saying, just because you don't want to go outside, you don't have any friends, you don't have a life, you have a shower. Get in that motherfucker. Wash your ass. Throw that soap on there. Love up them bubbles. Wash your head. Feel the blessing of water running down your body. Turn around. Get in your ass. Remember, you smell fresh. Love up yourself. What do you mean? You lonely. You bored. You don't have nothing to do. Get your ass in the shower. I love washing my body. I praise the Lord in the shower. I'll be like, God, you see what you're doing for me? Oh, and what? The water hit my, what? Get in the shower. Get in the shower. Wash your dish. I am going to get up, wash my dishes, and remind myself how thankful I am to have dish detergent. What? There are so many things to be thankful for. Those excuses are getting on my nerves. They're getting on my nerves. I have down days, I have up days, but you have to remember, there are people who have no access to water. Take your gifts. Take your gifts and hold yourself and say, okay, what would I do if I had what I'm complaining about and nowhere to lay down, nowhere to charge your phone, the very device you're complaining on? Stop. I mean, dang. We have to say, wow. I'm walking around here yesterday and I realized something that someone I know needs. And I'm like, okay, well, this is not really a luxury. It's not really something someone needs, but I know how I would feel if I didn't have one. You understand? Everybody would. I'm talking about a TV. The person's TV broke, and they're in the house without a TV. And I'm sitting here yesterday, and I'm walking around here, and I'm like, okay, well, you know what? And I'm like, I am a thankful that I am not attached to things. Now, I have been walking around here like where's my purse? My documents are in my purse. So I've never been, the type of person to be, like this for my documents because I didn't walk with them. If I wasn't using my EBT card outside, it wasn't outside with me. If I wasn't, I try not to take, if I'm gonna go somewhere on a short drive, I may not even take my driver's license. And if I get pulled over, let them run me up. But sometimes I don't want my purse. There are times that you won't find $1 in my purse, but I may have a $20 bill on my person. And then I could be at the register sometimes with a line and people looking at me digging up a certain place, to get my money. Like, people bump into you and take your money. So there are some facetious people out here. We have to wonder sometimes, and then sometimes you have to ask yourself, is the enemy in your front door? Because sometimes we walk these people, we greet them at the door, hug up, kids give them muffin and coffee, a glass of wine. We have to stop, look, and listen. Ooh, I'm sorry. And when I would stop that person at the door, you know, I had to stop one day and say, no, you violated me. And not for, you would just, you violated me. So I said, I can't do this anymore. I can't be nice all the time. I know kindness. Kindness was not dialing 911 to let them know you were at my door. But you shall find out. I'm not doing that anymore. No, but at the same token, I don't want to be responsible for karma, which means I don't need to defend myself. There are people out here to protect and serve. I'm going to let you do your job. I'm calling you. Yeah, it's that lady again. Go see her. This time bring her a muffin. She might eat it. Banana nut bread. Ah! But I am so thankful, boys and girls, because I realized one thing in life. And I am so thankful because at this point in time, I said, I absolutely am living the very reason why I say to save. But you can't save what you don't have. That's the only thing that I know without a shadow of a doubt. I will do the best I can to save, but you can't save what you don't have. I can't when I just did the thing what I had to do for my car and when his piece fell off, and it was a blessing to have the money in my hand to pay when that man said pull that car in. And I'm like, I don't have a lot. He said, just give me a tip. I can do the rest. Just give me a tip. And I said, wow. And then I said to myself, and this is the truth, I kid you not. I said to myself at that moment, this is all I have. But if I'm not fair with him, what he just did for me, he won't be able to do for someone else. So I think I had $35, 20, no, $35. I think it was $35. Either way, he got $25 out of my pocket. And then I had to leave him and go to someone else. And it may have been five, may have been 10, but I think it was 10. I ended up giving them the 10. And then I got in a car, and the only thing I can say is thank you for saving. And then I had to say thank you to myself because I saved it. And I said to myself, I have to stop making it about everybody else. I have to take accountability for what I am doing to remind myself that I can do it if I just make an effort. And that's why I say if I ask someone for help and they tell me anything, I can disconnect right in the middle. I don't need to hear it. You don't owe me anything. Either you can or you can't. Now, I do know of someone I wanted to ask to borrow, but I said, no, I can't do that because I don't play with money. But that person may be in a situation they don't trust me. So I said, you know what? We'll leave it at that. I'll do the best I can with what I had. I cannot have my car on any road stuck where I can't get it. I will never be able to get it back once they tow it. I won't be able to get it back. And my daughter keeps saying, Mommy, you can't help me do anything. The only thing you can do is get me to and from. That's it. I said, and I need you to do something else. Stop trying to fix me and help me when it comes to money. I have to do these things for myself. I said, I'm a big girl. And she said, but Mommy, you can't. I said, no, no, no. And then she's saying, I don't like to be around people that say to me, I shouldn't try. I should just lay down and just do because I have Section 8. That's not nice because you don't know when anything is not going to be available anymore. You're supposed to be able to work and do the best you can so that someone else who may need something can have it. But you can't be that person and want to stay down and just take. I can't be that person. I won't ever be able to be that person. That's why I say I am so thankful. That's why when I sat down with ChatGPT and said everything that I can see, including my online store, where I just finished, I got 104 items on there. And if I just threw it all away, and the next I got an order for this, I wouldn't be able to accommodate. So I would be like, and I'm like, so. And that's just a small part because what I have on the online store is organized in one thing to where I could just put that in my vehicle and I would be able to send out my orders. But the direction I'm going in life, I need everything in that craft room. And every time I ask someone, just say I need a box for some reason or whatever. If I ask someone if they have a box, everywhere I'm directed, I have to buy a box. And just imagining, something, I'm like, wow. But yesterday I made a phone call, to see about some help, and they will help me, but they will only help me after they're paid. And I'm like, I wouldn't expect you to do it if I'm calling you knowing I'm calling your employment not to have you paid first. I'm calling for information. I need to know. I don't know what you need unless I ask the question. I said, or am I wrong? And then I realized I should have never said, or am I wrong? That wasn't necessary. It wasn't needed. So I'm going to work on not saying things like that because I don't want to add fuel to the fire. I have been trying to help my daughter learn when to stop. I said, you don't need to always have something to. And she said, but I was just, nope. Mm-mm. I said, just think about a fire with a little bit of oil. Do you need? I said, did you need to say you should have? I said, well, I'm sorry, and now that's it. That's it. It's done. You don't need to. That's why what, where, when, why. I don't like. If I'm in a relationship with someone, I don't want to be like what, where, when, why, when they walking in and walking out and all that other stuff. That is so much of. I don't want that for myself. So I'm not going to give you what I don't want for myself. I'm not going to, make that part of where'd you go? What are you doing? Where you coming from? That I don't need that. Let them volunteer. I was at the store, the gas station, Tony's gas station, and then you start saying to yourself, okay, well, what you doing on that side of town? But I don't be asking. I won't be asking. All of the things that I need to know will come out in time. You just better hope you can heal. Oh, gosh, I'm thirsty. Jesus. Mm, mm, mm. Oh, that was delicious, baby. Mm. I have Aldi brand lemon and then fruit punch of the sugar-free package. That's what's in there. One yellow, one fruit punch together. But I don't have a standard pitcher. I have a larger one, so I can use two packets. But oh my goodness, baby. It is after 6 a.m. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's still black. Okay. It's still black out there. Boys and girls, I am so proud of y'all. I tell y'all that all the time. Y'all are consistent. You're showing up for your girl. You're showing up for your girl. I have to say, I am so proud of you. I am praying. I am praying, but I'm staying consistent on speaking of it as if it is already here. It is already here. So I have to be mindful. And right now, I realize that my arm is moving. So when I say I may not go to sleep, I'm thankful that I'm accepting. I took my about 3 in the morning. I took two ashwagandhas. I was taking one, but someone was on the phone talking to my daughter yesterday, and he works in that field, so the herbal field, and um, his mother had it. Well, I can't be telling people's business, but anyway, I know somebody who had a stroke, and I know somebody who had another heart ailment and all these things. This person has made their regimen with the herbals, so he was telling her what I needed, and I had told her that I was just trying to buy some D3 a few days ago, and I couldn't buy it. But that's one of the things that my body is missing is D3. I went on Amazon a couple days ago to try to get it, but I don't have enough. I don't have any more. I had them gift cards from doing my surveys and Fetch, so and I'm not doing Fetch or anything like that, so I don't have them. But that's what he said to her yesterday that I needed this large amount of D3. And he also told her that um, a lot of people that have mental health illnesses, if they take a very high amount of D3, they would be able to remove their mental medication to a certain degree, lower it down, and possibly come off of it altogether because a lot of that medicine consists of what a large amount of D3 would be. And I told her that that was the very thing I was looking on. That and that peppermint soap because My let me check my feet by the way. 'Cause I surely want to know if my oil. No, my feet feel nice. Like you. You're not pretty though. I don't like them ugly. I don't like the ugly feet. I don't like feet. Oh, but I touch my feet. I don't know. Usually, yeah, every day. But anyway, I just I'm gonna um I want to. I think I should count this as the rest that I needed, but I'm still not able to wash my dishes because my arm doesn't have the full strength that it needs to wash my dishes. But I don't think I'm going to actually wash them. I'm going to rinse them and put them in a dishwasher and let the dishwasher wash them. I am so happy. I I tried a few times to wash my dishes in the dishwasher with Dawn dishwashing detergent, and I finally got it now to the point where I I just take the thing and I just like you wipe your hand like that in the air. I take the bottle in the dishwasher and I just squeeze a little bit like that, enough, and my dishes are coming out spotless. And on top of that, I could hear the in the dishes, so I'm loving it because if I'm going to buy dish detergent anyway, I should be trying to figure out how to use it in the dishwasher. And when I research why you're not supposed to use it in the dishwasher, the main concern is the bubbles. So to reduce the bubbles, I reduce the amount to the amount that it will allow the machine to wash my dishes, especially since the machine uses a force and a level of hot water. So I check my thing, and then I check ChatGPT to ask if I used it in the dishwasher, does it rinse long enough to actually rinse the dish water? And it said yes, absolutely, and better in the dishwasher than if I was to wash it by hand. And you have to think about the temp, the heat. But oh, boys and girls, I'm so thankful. I am so thankful. Oh, I just remind myself every day how thankful I am. And I'm so tired.